You know, it's a matter now of the two groups coming together and actually finding a realistic solution that's good for both of us. And I think this is now getting the last kick at the cat, you know, more or less. So,
how would you describe your feeling? You've shown your emotions on your face on this issue before. Are you optimistic now, or?
No, I'm not sure any more than I was before. I think that there's a long road to hoe, and I think that in my mind it still is the biggest issue, is the financial issue of understanding either us, their challenges, or them our challenges, or that they don't have challenges. And to me that's fundamental, because I sense in the presentation Mr. Carvalho said there is a concern about the financial viability of this, and before they're going to go ahead they're going to have to answer that question, so we better answer it up front.
Do you think you might agree to this arena reserve fund idea in place of the subsidy they were demanding before, because clearly there was no appetite for that?
You know, I think that's dependent upon what the financial analysts say. I think that what I've looked at is substantially different than what they've come forward with, and as a result of that, unless they can show a difference, in my mind, there's no basis for it. But that's why we've asked to have an arbitrator, and then him appoint a financial analyst will ask the right questions. And as I said before, you know, equity doesn't create debt; it creates obligation and rate of return. So, you know, I think that it would really determine the definition of what's included and what isn't included, what costs are included, what costs aren't included.
What you asked for today, Mayor, was what you asked for 2 months ago. Are you a bit frustrated that we're at this point?
My job, you never get frustrated. It is what you do. You go to work every day. We had a budget we just finished yesterday, so this is like a cakewalk compared to yesterday.
How big of a role is this bridge to nowhere play in this?
I don't know. I mean, it's a matter of, you know, the problem with the bridge is that it's integral to their development, and that's why it's always been frustrating for me. It's a bridge from our point of view that we're putting money into. But the fact is, it's to benefit their development and to help, you know, help create the opportunity for development in the city. So one of the challenges would be is if the Cates Group investment in that is an amortize the cost. It's a cost of the development. That's where it should sit and be amortized as part of it.
What about the deadlines? Are there deadlines here? What are we talking?
Oh, we got to get going here. I mean, this is enough.
Yeah, but what are we talking? Any hard deadlines here?
Well, no. April 30th is when they're going to have to get things done. But I think all parties are in a position to move ahead and get some things done. And I hope that the position that Mr. Vallis put forward was Mr. Cates' position today, and that he would stand behind it. That all the other things are off the table, even though I still have great concerns about the financial issues. He has to be assured that at the end of the day, he's not going to be subsidizing a team of fortune. And we want to make sure that too. It doesn't do us any good to invest in an arena and then find out that this is not a good deal for him or us. We need to know those numbers too. So if they're saying that it's not financially viable, then we better know it too. We think it is, but if they're saying it's not, then then there's some bigger issues we need to deal with.
Councillor Henderson made a point that if they're not asking for you guys to subsidize, how much transparency can you then demand from them?
Well, I would disagree with you. I don't think they're asking us to subsidize, but when the final day comes, when they look at the analysis and they look at what the cost is going to be, what the investment's going to be, and the return, if there isn't a return there, then what's going to happen? They're going to say, wait a minute, it doesn't work. So we need to get off the table right now. So I think that is a major issue. They can, and I trust what they're saying. I don't disbelieve it, but it will come up. And let's not fool ourselves. At the end of the day, that won't be the major issue to deal with, because this is all about money. At the end of the day, I think there's a great vision to build a wonderful downtown and create a bunch of new buildings and all kinds of marvelous things. But let's face it, at the end of the day, if they haven't got enough money to pay the bills, it's not good for them and it's sure not good for the city.
You said that you won't continue negotiations unless they're public. Will you stand by that?
Absolutely. Well, I'm not negotiating, but anything that's going to come to this group, unless it's things that are, they're private financial information. But we shouldn't be negotiating in public, but that's what we've asked our administration to do. We're not negotiating with them. It's up to them. And as you can see how much fun it was today, and the positions different people, that you couldn't negotiate here. This is a joke as far as having negotiations. That's why we have administration. Otherwise, we would get nothing ever done. It would be like cement in your feet, So that's why they're going to do. And I've got to credit our city manager. Simon did a wonderful job today. After 7 or 8 or 10 days of budgets, he was a star today. I think he answered the questions brilliantly, and I think he deserves great credit, especially after the last couple of weeks in budget. So I think we're in good hands, and I trust that what Mr. Carvalho said today is what they believe, and we've straightened out the financial issues. I think there's a deal to be made. We'll see.
You raised mediation a week ago. Do you have somebody in mind?
I have some people that have been recommended to me. I don't know anybody. I'm not someone who, I don't deal in mediation. I get along with my staff pretty well, and my chief of staff, she organizes all that if I don't, so it doesn't matter. But there are some really good people in Edmonton, but we'll allow those people who have suggested those to suggest it to Mr. Farbrother and then to bring him to Mr. Cates. From my point of view, as long as he's an employee of the city or employee of the Cates Group, I'm fine with it.
Do you expect a significant update on the 23rd of January?
I expect significant items on the 23rd of January.